Hi, everybody. June here. Okay, earlier today I was live doing my alternates and totally got lost. Um, had planned a card 3 weeks ago, couldn't figure out where I was going with it. So, this is it. I've figured it out. I'm readjusting. We are making a floating bridge card. That's what the name was that I could not remember. Okay, and the card base for this is 4 1/4 by 8 inches. It gets scored at 1 1/4 and 2 1/2, and on this end 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. Okay, and that is how this works. All right, so your card's going together like this, so that whenever it goes into the envelope, this is the size of it. So that's basically 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And so now we are going to put it together. But just wanted to let you know, like, this is where I was messed up before. Somehow I had 5 1/2 this way and the same going on here. It was way too big. All right, so we've got several things going on. I'm moving all the pieces aside. I made a few changes to what we were doing. And so we're going to have a little piece here. I'll give you the dimensions just a moment. We're going to layer this on to here like so. Then we're going to have our 2 pieces that are going to go here. And we have a little piece for the back so that you can write a message. This is the bridge. And then here is what we end up with for the window. So I had to trim this down because this space in the middle here is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Okay. So I had to get this trimmed down. Plus the bridge goes here. Now the bridge is 1 inch. Okay. So what we have is we have this, it's going to set in there like this. So I did trim this down. It is 2 5/8, roughly 2 5/8, maybe a little bit more, and it is 3 5/8 this way, like a centimeter over 3 5/8 and a centimeter over 2 5/8. So just to give you an idea of what we have, each one of these are 1 inch by 4 inches. Okay, the piece from the envelope, these are both from the envelope, 1 inch by 4 inches. Okay, then this one is 3 1/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch, and you have 2 of those. All right, that is gray granite. All right, then I have a gray granite piece for the back that is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. Then I have a piece from the envelope and it has a little fold in it here, but I made a little item to cover up that fold. Okay, this is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches. This is just a 1/2 inch by 3 inches. Okay, and the bridge piece itself is 1 inch by 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so those are the dimensions for everything. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do a little bit of stamping here, but just a little. We're going to stamp on these pieces right here. I'm going to set that aside for now. We're going to do a little stamping here. So I have the thank you already. All right, we're going to use that in the typewriter. But here we are going to get our secret C out. And I'm changing up what I did because I did not love it. All right. So we are just going to put in our eyelets on here. So we have 1. And then we're going to line it up and do it again on that side. So there's our one side. Okay. And then here is the other, and I'm going to start off. Oh, I think I got crooked. I'm going to do it again. Thought that I was a little bit crooked there. All right, so we have that. Then I'm gonna carry it forward. So there we have that. All right, so those are the two pieces that go on there, which I love that so much better. Now we're gonna do a little bit on the bottom of here. So I am going to just put this right across the top of there. This piece is going to get adhered right on there, and there's just going to be a little bit of stamping at the top of there. And then we can put a little message on here. So we're saying thank you on the front. Let's see, what do we want? What do we want? Where are my stamps? Let's see. You're simply the best. That's what I want for the back up here. Let's see. I can grab a little block really quick. All right. All right, let's see if we can just get that right up here. Hopefully not too off center. So we are going to just close this up and then put that away. And then we can put everything together. All right, so let's go ahead and just get our back piece put together. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down right on here. Now, I am just planning to cover up that little fold line down here. And so I'm just putting this on, but I just want to make sure this is a little too, I'm just going to trim this off. Let's see here if I can trim straight. All right, we're hoping I did that straight because that was kind of lazy. All right, so we are just putting this right at the bottom, and it covers up that fold line on here, and then just leaves a little bit of the stamping there. And so you're simply the best. All right, that's for the back of the card. All right, now let's start to put those pieces together, and we'll glue that back on before we do everything itself. So once again, I'm using the envelope flaps for these pieces here in the Secret C. And I decided I didn't like what I had done previously with the inside panel, so changed that up. Thought it would coordinate better if it was just a similar design. So we're going to go ahead and use the envelope piece like we had before, which is what I had stamped on before, but we are not doing that this time. Now we have a piece of gray granite that's going to layer inside of here where we did the same eyelet design. So I just think it looks so much better. Glad I decided to just redo it completely and share with you guys. So here we are doing that. So again, this is the envelope piece going in here, and then we have the gray granite. And I think this looks so much better. All right, so there is that piece going in just like that. All right, so that's how our card works. All right, so let me get my bone folder and just make sure we burnish these edges. Good. And now when it stands up, it'll stand up like that. But I like how this looks on the inside, and I think you will too. So now let's go ahead and add our little piece right here to the back. Okay. And we're just going to center that right on there. I need a little bit of glue here. It looks like I'm lacking in this corner. Get off my fingers. Then that's going to go right on there. I love the colors. I don't think I've ever been a fan really of gray granite, but I really love how it is playing into this kit. Looks really beautiful. Very, very nice. All right, so that's the back where you can write your little sentiment. Okay. So now we are going to add this, but I wanted to do something to this because I felt like we lost some of the ambiance of this whole image. And so I want to rough up the edges of it because if you recall, the actual die cut piece was like had a little bit of a jagged edge. And so I think like this will just be a better look for it. And I'm just to get on this edge over here. Okay, and so we're just gonna rough this up. I'm using the edge of my scissor blade, okay, to just rough that up. Okay, and I think that will look so much better for what we have planned. All right, so just getting all the little paper crumbs out of the way. And now we'll have this. Now, this one's here. I want to get. There we go. Now I think I like it much better. So now it's just a little bit more rugged in there. And so we are going to go ahead and put this down with some glue. I'm not going all the way to the edge because I do want it to be a little bit rough looking so that it adds to the image itself. Okay. Just because of how we had taken away that really rough edge. So now you can see there, it's a little bit bumpy and I want it to be like that. Okay. So I just think that adds to it. All right. So now we add the bridge, and the bridge just goes all the way down here at the bottom of the card. All right. And so we're going to put on one side and then we're going to put on the other side, just like that. Now, I had thought about adding to the front of here a piece of the gray granite, but I just decided we would just leave this alone. But I'm trying to decide if we might add this piece here. I think so. So I'm going to trim this piece of the envelope down to 3/4 of an inch so that we can add that to the front of here. Just like so. And then I think I'll go ahead and do the stamping on here with that eyelet again, just to kind of kind of connect all of it together. So let's go ahead and do that on here. So there's that one. Now let's go hopefully this goes all the way to the edge, but I guess I could just scoot over, and that's going to be where the typewriter goes in that gap. There we go. Although it doesn't look like there's much of a gap there, to be honest. All right, so let's put that away. All right, so that's how that looks. You can see there's a little tiny bit of a gap there. It's probably going to get covered up once we put the typewriter on. So not too worried about that. And just made for an even look with regard to the stamp image. All right, so this is going across here. Got a little extra glue going on there. Get off my finger. All right, so that's our bridge. Now that's going to come across here. Now this is just going to go right at the very bottom of the card. All right, so we're going to put the first one on, then we will glue on the second piece. Okay, so I'm just going to get some glue on here, right here. And then we're going to glue this down. I'm getting my glasses out so that I can see it really good and make sure we get it on there straight. All right, so there's that one. All right, now this one's going to go on this side. So I'm just going to put the glue on here. And now we glue down this side of the bridge. Okay, now that is that. I got paper dust from getting the tear done on the edges. All right, so now it can go in the envelope this way, or it can go in the envelope this way. And then it will just stand up like this when somebody takes it out of the card. Now, what I want to do is add our little typewriter on here. Okay, now my plan was to add it a little bit off to the center, or off to the side. I think we will put it off to the side so that when you open it up, it's like that. Okay, and we'll put it all the way to the bottom. All right, and so let's go ahead and get our little sentiment added in here. So the thank you is going in, right? And it's just going to go like that. All right, and we are going to go ahead and put that down with some tear and tape, which I keep reaching for more, but I don't need it. We're just going to use this like a little piece of tape, and we're just going to tack it down with that. And I'm not going to tear that off. I'm just using it like a piece of tape. Okay, and so that's going to be there. All right, now I have my little flowers here, and we're going to add these in. Right, they're going to go right here, like that. So now I'm going to use a little more tear and tape to just tie those down. I'm going to use one piece here, like so. And I'm going to use another piece on this side. Again, this is just to tack these down so that they stay in place. All right. So that's our little typewriter piece. It's going to go on. It's going to go all the way to the bottom of the little card base, like so. All right. And then we are going to add, I'm going to scoot it over just a tad. All right. So we're going to put that on with some dimensionals. All right. So I want my dimensionals to go right here and here. So where did my, oh, they're over here. Can't see the dimensionals with the glasses, can't see lines without the glasses. So I'm going to put one here, and let's just see here how we have this. Yeah, so we're going to put one right here. Do I want another one on here? Might just put one right next to this one. There we go. And that will be where we put our typewriter. All right, so let's just go ahead and get that put on right at the bottom of our card. So that's kind of off to the side, okay? And now we're gonna add our little flowers. So put one right down here at the bottom of the typewriter. So just right there, like so. And then we'll add one here, and then I think I'll add one right up there. I think I'll put it right there. And then this one, actually, I think I'm going to add it right here. And that's how it looks. Actually, I still think I might want one there. Let me see if I have any more of flowers on that paper that I can trim off. I think I do. I just get one more. Although I feel like we're going to have two more in order to have the odd number of things. So we'll just do this and see, but and just probably need to cut two more out, and then we will be able to wrap it up. I like this card. I'm so glad I figured it out and came back to show you all. Okay, got a little jagged edge here I want to fix. All right, so there's that. And I do think I have to have one more. Here's a nice small one. And then we will be done. I think I'd be a pro at cutting these out by now. I have cut out many of these little flowers. They are so perfect for this kit, and just have allowed us to do so much more with it. All right, so there we have it. Now, put one more down here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to add one more down here at the bottom of our typewriter. Let's just turn it a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to add, oh, we've already did that one. Oh, this little one. That's what I thought there was one more. All right, so then this little guy we're putting right here. Oh, so cute. We're going to add a couple of gems because I just think we have to. We don't have to put it on all of them, but I think it will look really cute if we add it to just a few of these little guys. So we'll just add one there. And oh my goodness, I'll add one right up here, and we'll add one right here. Oh, very, very cute. All right, so that is how our floating bridge card ends up looking, and closes. It can close this way or this way, and it fits inside the a regular medium envelope. So, all right. Thank you so much for indulging me. I am sorry I could not get this straight in my live, but here we go. And I hope you enjoyed the bridge card, the floating bridge card. Have a great day.